Okay, I'm here with Rebecca Moyes. Rebecca is a former general education teacher in public and private schools. She currently serves as a consultant to 4 school districts in the Pittsburgh area for students with emotional disturbance. Rebecca holds a master's degree in teaching and curriculum with emphasis on special needs children, and she's the author of 6 books for educators who teach with special needs. So thank you, Rebecca, for taking the time from your busy schedule.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
Now, you're providing a keynote and afternoon workshop at our upcoming conference in Saskatoon this fall. So I have several questions that I would like to ask. First of all, what does research tell us about the importance of social and emotional learning in children and adolescents?
Well, one of my favorite studies was with Joseph Durlak in 2011, and he synthesized about 213 social emotional learning programs that included 270,000 kids, K to 12, kindergarten through 12th grade.
Okay.
And he found that there was an 11% increase in academic achievement when social learning programs were in place.
Wow, that's really high.
Oh yeah, that's a great selling point.
Yeah. So when social skills are introduced to children who exhibit mental health conditions such as anxiety, depression, and various behavior disorders, what factors must teachers take into consideration to optimize learning?
Well, I have a little saying that when I work with staff that you really can't take care of Bloom until you take care of Maslow. And what I mean by that is, there are a lot of students who have emotional needs that are taking the front seat. And we can't really expect to make academic progress unless those needs are addressed. And sometimes we have to be comfortable with that a student is just not ready to be a student. He has to learn to control his emotions, and self-regulation skills have to be taught before he can make progress.
Okay, excellent. What are some social skills deficits that kids have in the classroom?
Wow, that's a lot. I work with kids in kindergarten through 12th grade, and I can tell you that I'm seeing a lot of kindergartners who come in and they don't really have the ability to sit in a chair.
Okay.
They struggle with being first. They have little motivation except for things that they like to do, so there's no tolerance for other things that the classroom teacher might want them to do. They struggle with interaction skills with peers, like playing appropriately and sharing. And if those skills aren't addressed, you can see the same child in 5th grade or 6th grade that can't take social perspectives, that's still not fitting in and having a good peer group to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And then in high school, when they have to work together in groups to accomplish tasks, it's very difficult. So we've learned that we've got to address it when they're younger.
Yes, how important. Now, I took a look at your workshop descriptions for the conference in Saskatoon, and you emphasize the importance of delivering social instruction to students using multisensory formats. So can you elaborate on that?
Sure. I found that a lot of students who struggle socially, for instance, the autism population,
Yes.
those kids also have corresponding communication deficits. So the traditional talking teaching does not reach them as well as a show teaching format. And I've used things like pictures, and I'm sure that's very common knowledge that we use a lot of pictures with kids in that population. But I've also found that for other students who struggle, we use objects. For instance, I use a colander to teach how to filter, that you can't just say what you're thinking. And those are they puts it in concrete terms for the kids, and I think it makes a lot of sense to them and helps them remember the skill better.
Oh, excellent. Now, can you share a few strategies that teachers can implement with their students in their classroom to enhance social and emotional learning?
Sure, there are strategies that you can do individually with students, but you can also do group sessions with kids so that everybody can take advantage of the format. I'll just keep continuing on the whole use of concrete ideas. I've used little ice cubes to talk about how do I chill out when I'm angry or stressed. We all have to learn those chill out strategies. I've used pictures of people that look like they're thinking about something, and we draw a thought bubble and we say, what do you think this individual is thinking about? Because we have to teach the kids theory of mind to get into the shoes of others. I worked with one student where he just wasn't understanding his choices. A lot of teachers use the phrase, make better choices, but that's not real concrete. And it doesn't make a lot of sense for students. So I've made paper chains where I've shown them that there is a decision link where you have to make a choice, and this choice will result in this set of links, and this choice will result in that set of links. And it helps the student to see that I do have the power to make good decisions. And I'm all about the concrete instruction. So I think that keeps it interesting for the kids too.
Great. Now, just one final note. We're going to have you're the author of 6 books, and I know they are really popular at our conference because of the practical nature of the materials. And I have a couple of books. One right in front of me, Building Sensory-Friendly Classrooms.
Yes.
Executive Function Dysfunction, very catchy name.
Yes.
And, can you share a little bit about your resources that you'll have available at the conference?
Sure. The sensory dysfunction, or the building sensory-friendly classrooms, is a popular topic, and part of being self-regulated includes knowing how to regulate my sensory needs. We can't run around the room and touch everything. We have to learn ways that I can get sensory input that's more appropriate. So we'll get into some of that. The executive function, there's so much that impacts social skills development that has to do with executive functioning. Motivation is a biggie. Not everybody comes to the class intrinsically motivated. So we talk about what to do with that student who is not intrinsically motivated. And that comes right from that executive function dysfunction book.
and you also wrote a book on autism, I believe?
I've written a couple books for addressing challenging behavior and social skills for kids on the spectrum as well. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have all the educational materials available for attendees at the conference.
That's wonderful. Great.
Well, thank you, Rebecca, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to answer a few of my questions. Rebecca will be providing a morning keynote and afternoon workshop on the topic of social and emotional learning at our School Focused Mental Health Conference taking place in Saskatoon on April 27th. So hope to see you there, and thank you, Rebecca. And I look forward to working with you there.
See you at Saskatoon.
Okay, have a good flight. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.